welcome to Nationwide. We're broadcasting live from Abuja on the network service of the NTA. I'm Rhoda Anonam. It's a few days to the Kogi Bayelsa governorship election, while candidates have less than 24 hours to seek votes from the electorates. In Bayelsa, however, a federal high court sitting in Yenagoa has disqualified the candidate of the APC in the governorship election. Let's now join our correspondent, Dibabari, in Yenagoa, where NTA has been on ground for the full coverage of the election.
Hello and welcome to Bayelsa State. We are reaching you live from the INEC headquarters here in Yenagoa, where activities are going on for the scheduled November 16th governorship elections. Let's now go to our first story. Federal High Court sitting in Yenagoa directs INEC not to recognize the APC governorship candidate in the forthcoming November gubernatorial election. Justice Jane Iyang says the 11-man electoral committee of the APC in Bayelsa State primaries on 4th September 2019 did not comply with the guidelines of the party in line with the Electoral Act of 2010 as amended. Aya Prezi reports.
The position of the plaintiff in the suit, Senator Enikin Lokbobri, is that he scored the highest number of valid vote cast for the APC governorship direct primaries in Bayelsa State on 4th September 2019. However, the first defendant, APC's 11-man electoral committee, allegedly declared the second defendant, David Leon, as the winner and subsequently forwarded his name as a candidate of the party to INEC, which is the third defendant. He contended that it was the governor of Yobe State, Galadima Bunu, who, as a chairman of the 11-man electoral committee, had the extant authority to declare a winner and return same as candidate of the party. But that was not the case, as the secretary to the 11-man committee, Senator Emmanuel Ojeje, reportedly made the declaration. Relying therefore on that position, with relevant proofs among other presentations by the counsels of the plaintiff and the defendants, Honorable Justice Jane Iyang of Federal High Court Yenagoa declared that the result announced by Senator Emmanuel Ojeje cannot hold because he was not the right person to do so. As consequence, her lordship held that the 11-man electoral committee did not conform to extant guidelines of the APC in the conduct of the September 4 governorship primaries in Bayelsa State, and so there was no valid election. She therefore ruled that neither the second defendant, David Leon, nor the plaintiff, Senator Anikin Lokbobri, should parade themselves as candidate of the APC. Meanwhile, lead counsel to Senator Lokbobri and counsel to David Leon have described the ruling as strange, as the position of the judge was not among the reliefs sought.
In Bayelsa State on the 4th of September, we're not done in compliance with the guidelines of the party, and so the party has no candidate. Okay. But for now, the pronouncement of the court is that APC has no candidate.
This judgment delivered today, and as we speak, we're in the registry and we're taking the necessary steps. One to law. That is just the truth. And the beauty of this whole thing is that this court is not the court of final arbiter in matters like this.
Bayelsa State governorship elections will hold on November 16, 2019. In Yenagoa, Aya Prezi, NG News.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress Bayelsa State says they have appealed the ruling of the Federal High Court declared their candidate not duly selected. Director General of the APC campaign team, Professor Seyefa Bresebi, announced this at a press briefing in Yenagoa shortly after the court ruling on the party's participation in the November 16 governorship. He called on party faithfuls and Bayelsans to remain calm and steadfast as the party is following due process to seek redress.
Is a judgment that is given by a lower court, and the processes are clear you appeal, you file for stay of execution, which our lawyers have done. We have appealed and also filed for stay of execution. The complainant did not say that the processes were flawed. He did not request that the elections should be nullified. Here we see a judgment saying that the elections should be nullified.
He called on Bayelsans to come out en masse to vote on Saturday for peace and development. As we count down to Bayelsa governorship election, stakeholders are still calling for a change of attitude to ensure a violence-free election. In the special report, Emeka Opala reviews the efforts of the Independent National Electoral Commission, security and non-governmental organizations to ensure that the election of November 16th in Bayelsa State is hitch-free. His report.
Because of the peculiar nature of Bayelsa State, with people living in riverine areas and swampy areas like this, hoodlums in the past during elections capitalized on the advantage to subvert the wishes of the people. From onset, INEC chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu had maintained the stand of the commission that the governorship election in Bayelsa and Kogi State must pass the test of credibility of being fair and free. In one of the stakeholders' meetings in Yenagoa, the state capital, Professor Yakubu appealed to stakeholders, especially the major two political parties in the state, APC and PDP, to help the nation and INEC by ensuring that they play the game according to the rules. He traced the history of election violence in Bayelsa State to 2015 and warned that the commission will not tolerate any act of electoral lawlessness in Saturday's election.
We are here to hear from you and to listen to you on how best we can work together to make the 2019 governorship elections in Bayelsa State peaceful, free, fair, and credible.
A Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, Abdul Majid Ali, who spoke, said about 30,000 policemen had been deployed to work in Bayelsa election.
They are there to supervise the election, to assist the voters, and if you see them doing another thing different, phone numbers are there that you can give it to you. You call the officer in charge.
Some traditional rulers and political party representatives present also spoke on the need for INEC and security agents to be neutral and transparent during and after the election. Even non-governmental organizations are not resting in their campaign for a violence-free election in Bayelsa State. Some of them, including women groups and youths, organized peace marches in different forums calling for peace and violence-free election. Already, political parties appear to have gotten the message, except in Nembe, where violence erupted during PDP campaign recently. But the good news is that security agents arose to the challenge. From Yenagoa, Emeka Opala, NTA News.
And as our contribution from Bayelsa State is back to the studio for the rest of the news. Good evening.
Thank you very much, Dibabari, there from Yenagoa in Bayelsa State. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has made a strong demand for exemplary conduct of non-partisanship on the path of elections and law enforcement officials in the Kogi and Bayelsa elections. In a statement, the president urges all to carry out their duties with fairness and transparency without fear or favor. He advises voters to exercise their franchise in a peaceful and orderly manner in line with the law in all situations. President Buhari also asked the candidate to accept the outcome and follow the due process of law in seeking redress rather than to self-help. The president wishes the two states and their people a safe and credible exercise as they vote in these historic and suspenseful elections. As stakeholders continue the countdown to the governorship election in Kogi and Bayelsa State, it has been suggested that stricter compliance to electoral guidelines by major players will guarantee credible polls. Guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria say election vices like vote buying and thuggery should not be allowed to thrive. Morjana to Adam Said reports.
Kogi and Bayelsa are some of the states with off-cycle gubernatorial elections in the country. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria acknowledge improvement in Nigeria's electoral process, but still call for some measures against electoral offences.
So if the deputy governorship candidate is not qualified, then the governorship candidate is not also qualified. And so that party that sponsored the disqualified person, and by the way, to sponsor a disqualified person is a criminal offence, because the Electoral Act puts a penalty. The party, you did not screen your candidate very well.
They specifically call for improved security to counter whoever plans to unleash mayhem, as well as protect the electorate during and after the polls.
Our deployment strategy will be intelligence-driven, they will be purposeful, they will be target-oriented.
Somebody goes to the tribunal and the person is said to have lost the election. The person goes to appeal court and the person is declared the winner. Then you have similar case in another state. Then reverse is the case. So when you have these two conflicting precedents, a lot of persons can cash in on those precedents to pursue their cases, and then that becomes incentive for the rigging of elections and the theory we are talking about.
The guests agreed that constant engagement of election stakeholders periodically should be sustained by the Independent National Electoral Commission. In Abuja, Morjana to Adam Said, NTA News.
Election observation helps ensure electoral integrity and strengthen civil society capacity to promote citizens' participation, foster governmental accountability within and well beyond the election circle. This is what Youth and Public Safety Awareness Initiative wants to sustain within the training of its observers for the upcoming Kogi Bayelsa gubernatorial election. Haman Jabani reports.
Civil society mobilization to engage during elections, experts say, is for hitch-free process, deter fraud, expose irregularities, provide accurate measure for the quality of the elections, promote confidence in the process and outcome, as well as provide recommendations for improving the process for the next election. To achieve all this, the observers must be trained and equipped to carry out this simple but tasking job. This is why Youth and Public Safety Awareness Initiative, an accredited observer by INEC for the upcoming gubernatorial election in Kogi and Bayelsa, is training 130 observers within its platform.
Acquaint some of our observers on the process of observing the election, most in particularly about reporting and issues.
The training then will remind us some things about the guidelines of INEC, because as an observer, you're supposed to be a neutral body that is going to report situation as it happened on ground.
Providing such training, the organizers say, will help them carry out the responsibility according to best electoral guidelines.
Even before then, we have been training upon training, but we deem it fit to train them more, because learning is a process. Even if you have been giving a lecture on INEC guideline on election observers, I think it is better for us to rub minds together and enlighten ourselves more, so that we can be able to do a very efficient and effective job when we get to Bayelsa and Kogi State.
Out of the 130 will be observers, 80 will be deployed to Kogi State for the election. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Progressives Governors Forum has expressed readiness to work towards institutionalizing the APC by making all its organs functional. Director General of the Forum, Salihu Mohammed Lukman, informed journalists in Abuja that the party's National Working Committee has to enhance stakeholders' engagement. Salihu Abdullahi reports.
From an opposition party to one in government, Political analysts believe that the All Progressives Congress has a destiny of impacting on the nation's democracy through good governance. However, crises leading to frequent suspension of some of its members, including its national executive, have been a source of concern to party members and supporters. Now, one of the main organs of the party, the Progressives Governors Forum, is suggesting the convening of National Executive Committee NEC meeting to chart a way forward for the party.
The last time we had a NEC meeting was in August 2018. By the Constitution, the National Working Committee, which today is the one running the party, is an administrative organ. It derives its life from decision of superior organs. It is supposed to be meeting to map out strategies in terms of how to implement decisions National Executive Council, National Working Committee, National Convention will have taken.
The Director General Progressives Governors Forum sees that as an avenue for loyal party members who share common vision with President Muhammadu Buhari in using the All Progressives Congress as a platform to add value and build a strong democracy in Nigeria. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
You're watching Nationwide. We'll take a short break now, and when we come back, we have more news, so stay with us.
Kogi State is in safe hands. The confluent state is secured. In the event of any emergency, or if you find yourself in a situation where your life or the life of another is threatened, such as kidnap, robbery, burglary, medical emergencies, car theft, rape, road accidents, natural disasters, any form of emergency at all, no need to panic. Just swipe an app on your phone and help will be sent your way immediately. The VGS app is a software for quick emergency reporting of incidents by private citizens for the prompt response by security and emergency agencies. Within 5 seconds of reporting, the appropriate government security or emergency agencies will be alerted and help is deployed immediately. Download the app and subscribe immediately. It's free of charge for all Kogi State residents. This is made possible by the Kogi State government and the untiring effort of the Executive Governor of Kogi State.
I am advising every citizen to have this particular app, VGS app, in his phone, so that wherever there's any crime, you are being attacked, or you see somebody being attacked, or there's any crime happening anywhere, all you need to do is just to swipe, and then the rescue team, the security operatives will be there at your disposal.
Be secured, be safe. Get the VGS app. Swipe to safety.
The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, cordially invites the general public to the 2019 Abuja Carnival, taking place between 23rd and 25th November 2019. Theme: Culture for Peace. Street Carnival and Opening Ceremony. Saturday, 23rd November 2019. Venue from Old Parade Ground to Area 1, Abuja. Time from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Other cultural activities on display are Children's Fiesta at GSS Area 10, Garki, Abuja. Durbar at Kuje Stadium. Boat Regatta at Jabi Dam. Masquerade Fiesta at Government Day Secondary School, Gwagwalada. Traditional Cuisine and Bush Bar at Old Parade Ground. Command Performance and Award Night, as well as Contemporary Music Fiesta at the Old Parade Ground from 23rd to 25th November 2019. Time from 8:30 p.m. till dawn daily. Deaconess Grace Isu Gekbe, Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Information and Culture.
This year, like every other year, for over a decade, we celebrate and reward African creatives around the world at the African Academy Awards ZAFA 2019 in Abuja, Nigeria. The second homecoming event is a 3-day gathering of industry stakeholders and enthusiasts to network as well as encourage and motivate budding talents. The movie screenings, exhibitions, and masterclasses will hold at the Silverbird Galleria on the 22nd to 23rd November 2019. The awards and gala night on the 24th of November 2019 at the prestigious Transcorp Hilton Hotel Abuja. For inquiries and sponsorship, advert placements, and tickets, call the following numbers on your screen now or visit www.zafa.org.
This is wonderful. I'm super excited about this. Nothing is expected of them other than awesomeness.
Zafa 2019. Come expecting the unexpected.
Helpline Foundation Nigeria and partners present the 3rd Annual African Women Conference AWC 2019, a gathering of experts, institutions, corporate organizations, and individuals promoting the growth, stability, and development of African women, through which various resources available to African women can be channeled towards the sustainable development of the continent.
Keynote speakers: Dame Paul Talin, Ramatu Tijani Aliu, Madam Magdala Cooper, Binta Masigarba, Karima Ranim, Ibtisame Azal, Dr. Anissa Nagra, veteran Nollywood actors and actresses.
Theme: Building a Coalition to End Gender Inequality in Africa. Dates: 21st to 23rd November 2019. Venue: Kenzi Manara Palace, Marrakesh, Morocco. For participation and inquiries, visit www.africa-womenconference.org or call +234 806 5388 424. AWC, building an Africa where potential is fully harnessed. Powered by Helpline Foundation Nigeria, Echoes Africa Initiatives New York, International Center for Diplomacy in Morocco.
Hello and welcome back. And in case you just joined us, you're watching Nationwide. Right now, we probably join our outside broadcast for a campaign rally in Kogi of the APC gubernatorial election that is coming up on Saturday, the 16th of November 2016. So now let's join our outside broadcast for the APC campaign in Kogi.
This is the network.